right, let's talk about episode number 6, which is Portland. Portland, 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 Portland. Wow, talk about civil unrest. 48 days now in a row, they have been causing fear. The Hot Pocket generation, the Twinkies of Portland, the anarchists, the not Antifa, we're going to talk about that here in a moment. But the Hot Pocket generation of young radicalized communists have been causing fear and destruction in the city of Portland for the last 48 days. So what happened? Well, any good president, well, they're going to send in federal help, whether you want it or not, because guess what? After 48 days, if you have not caused the end to civil disrest or unrest within your city as a mayor, you have failed. I'm going to say that again. You have failed, Ted Wheeler. More importantly, we're going to talk about here in a moment how you are a terrorist. You're a terrorist. Okay? Kate Brown, you're a terrorist too. Ellen Rosenblum, you're a terrorist too. So what happened in Portland? Well, the Attorney General of Portland, or Oregon, actually filed a lawsuit against the federal agencies who have been sent in to do your jobs for you. And you are such terrorists that you've actually gone out of your way to prevent safety from happening. I mean, do you see how ridiculous this sounds? I'm not a righty and I'm not a lefty. I am independent. I am right there in the middle using my common sense to look at the bullshit that's happening in your backyard. And I can plainly see that you are inept at doing your jobs. You are failures. So I just made some really bold claims. Extremely bold claims, and we're going to talk about what those claims are. When I define somebody as a terrorist, we're going to go ahead and look and see what is terrorism. Simple definition, there are three definitions. It is a noun. It is the use of violence and threats to intimidate or coerce, especially for political purposes. So you have all of these white kids, these Twinkies, these jellyfish, all sting no spine, getting out there with, getting out from their mom's basement, eating their Hot Pockets, watching, I don't know what they watch, Rick and Morty or some bullshit cartoon, playing video games and smoking weed. They've never accomplished anything in their life, but they expect a high minimum wage paying position because, after all, they're the college professor that radicalized them into believing all this communist bullshit. They get out there and they start beating the crap out of everything. They start tearing down statues. They start destroying a city. They start using commercial incendiary devices. I am so flippin' tired of the media claiming commercial fireworks. You know what? They're not being used as fireworks. They're being used as commercial incendiary devices to create arson. Okay? We are so beyond all of this PC garbage that I keep hearing in the media. I am so past all of this bullshit that I keep hearing. You have terrorists who are taking control of the city of Portland and have controlled the city of Portland for the last 48 days. Now, I'm going to say one thing before I get back into tearing the shit out of these politicians. Portland Police Department, you deserve better from your leadership. Okay? The mayor is in charge of the police force of any given city, and the mayor, Ted Wheeler, is failing you. But that's okay. He's never really been successful in his life, and we're going to talk about that too. All right, so let's go back here. Attorney General says, hey, we're just going to go ahead and file charges and sue the federal government for coming in and doing what we have failed to do. Karen Brown, Ted Wheeler, and now Ellen Rosenblum, you are guilty of violating the Patriot Act. I'm not going to go into the Patriot Act. If you want to read the Patriot Act, it is a long document, but all we need to do is go to Title 1. Title 1, Sentence 1. Title 1 of the Patriot Act authorizes measures to enhance the ability of domestic security services to prevent terrorism. Ted Wheeler, Kate Brown, and Ellen Rosenblum, you are guilty of violating the Patriot Act You are enabling, aiding, and abetting terrorist activities. Please ship them off to Guantanamo Bay and start waterboarding them with diesel. For crying out loud. I am so sick and tired of these politicians sitting up in their golden chairs with their thrones on, talking about do as I say, not as I do. That's a whole different episode. Let's get into Ted Wheeler. The failure of Portland is Ted Wheeler. Ted Wheeler, you are a failed politician. You are an absolute failure. You are a failed husband. You are a failed father. But you failed in your core responsibility, which is protecting and ensuring the safety of the citizens of Portland. You have failed to do that for the last 48 days. Instead of whining and crying like a little bitch, you should be thanking the federal government for coming in and hopefully we can only hope restoring safety to the city of Portland. Okay? We're going to talk about Portland. I've been to Portland. If you haven't been to Portland, there's 4 things that Portland or that Oregon even cares about, right? In no particular order. Number 1 is the Democratic Party, okay? And that's because of number 3, but we're going to get to that. Number 2 is beer, right? If you've never been to Portland, there you can get every different kind of beer on every corner in Portland. And by 7 o'clock, most of the people that live in Portland are drunk, all right? Sorry. Number 3 is Nike. Right? Nike causes all of this democratic bullshit that you see going on in Portland. They're not even in Portland. Okay? But number 4 is college football, I guess. I don't know, because it's sponsored by Nike and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares? But I got news for you. I don't feel bad for you guys in Portland. I really don't, because you asked for this. Only 120,000 people out of 640,000 voted for the mayor of Portland because you were probably still hungover and passed out from drinking last night and didn't get to the voting booths. But that's okay, because you grew up as a jellyfish, all sting, no spine, and now after all, you just want a peace, love, and happy and all this other stuff. Well, I got news for you. You raised your children poorly. And you sent them to a college who radicalized those children, and now the children are out there beating the shit out of the city. Okay, that your tax dollars are going to have to pay for to repair. Because I sure hope that you don't ask for federal funding when you have failed to do your job, and obviously you're suing the federal government for coming in and trying to do your job for you. Are you serious? Really? Call me crazy. Ted, pull your head out of your ass or get the F out of office, man, because you just suck. You are the definition of suck and a shitty leader. Kate Brown, here's another gem. Kate Brown, first LBGTQ, alphabet afterwards, person to ever be elected as a governor of a state. Who gives a flying shit? I don't. I care that you do your job. And we're going to talk about what your core fundamental responsibilities of your position are. Yours, Ted Wheeler's, and Ellen Rosenblum, or whatever the hell her name is. Nobody cares. I don't care who you bed with. I care about what you do and the actions while you're in office. And you are failing. You want to sit there and get your moment of fame and attack the president? And I'm not a pro-trumpeter or trumper or whatever you want to call that. But I respect the efforts of what the federal government has had to do, because the governors and the mayors are failing to do it. How stupid is that? Well, congratulations, Kate Brown. You are inept. You are a failure at your position, and you are aiding and abetting terrorism by not restoring safety and security, not ending the unrest of what's going on in Portland, which is the largest city in your state. Are you serious? Are you serious? Then we talk about Ellen Rosenblum, and we don't want to talk about her too much because, she's just, I don't know. She's out there doing, she's from Berkeley. Really? As soon as you see this, she's originally from Berkeley, California. Did she go to Berkeley? Oh, nope. University of Oregon. Okay. Completely uneventful, but she's going to get hers, because after all, it's not about her core fundamental responsibilities of her office. It is literally about progressing that political agenda. Okay? And this is the stuff that I am tired of. Let me break it all down for you, because you'll hear me say this in multiple videos. I am not a Republican and I am not a Democrat. While I lean more right, I also support certain aspects of the left. Okay? But here's the thing. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you govern, what you were elected to be in charge of. Your core responsibility is real simple, and that is ensuring the safety of the citizens that are within your purview. If it's a mayor, you need to ensure safety for your citizens, and most importantly for the children, because children don't get to make decisions. And there are certain things that I've seen in my life in other countries while I was in the military, and the one thing that you will never get out of your heart and out of your soul and out of your mind is the look of absolute fear in a child's eyes. Absolute fear. Okay? Fear comes in all forms, that they may not live tomorrow. They may not be alive tomorrow. They may not get a meal tomorrow. They may be sold or as property in some of these countries. Okay? You don't get past that. Those are the things that still haunt me from my military experience to this day. And I'm telling you right now that is the core responsibility. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, you're a green party, a gold party, a purple party, who gives a shit? Your core responsibility as an elected official is to keep those children safe. How dare you let communists run your city and cause fear for 48 days. Pull your heads out of your asses and start doing your job. And that isn't a political statement. That's all we got. I can't even talk about this shit anymore because it's so stupid it pisses me off. Subscribe to the show. We need more subscribers. This is a new format for us. And we're trying to get our word out as I'm suspended from Facebook, as I'm suspended from Twitter, as I'm suspended from all of these other platforms. Sign up for Parler. Shout out to Parler. They've done well for me so far. I appreciate the platform. Get out there and do something. Be an American, for crying out loud. Don't just talk because talk is cheap. Start holding people accountable. Start with these three communist terrorists right here. Ted Wheeler, Kate Brown, Ellen Rosenblum. Terrorists, aiding and abetting